Sorry about that, everybody. I am going to get back on the Zoom. Let me just get it back up. I think the people still on. That's weird. Yeah, my bad, everybody. It's a little messy. It's a little messy on that Zoom. So I'm really, I apologize wholeheartedly. Please don't blame it on me. The comments are really irritating. No. I mean, not irritating, but just I might even end it because my. All right, let me get back on there.
That Jafar is doing. He's doing a great job, and I think it's going to be an awesome movie. Me and Mrs.
We're
Jackson,
back.
She's really, really proud of her grandson doing this movie, and it's really great. My other friend, when Joe Jackson, American Story, Lawrence Hilton Jacobs is another great friend of mine who played Joe Jackson. He was nominated for an Emmy for that. And when he was going to do the movie, he came up to the office and he and Joe talked, and because he knew the family basically before I knew him. So I just wanted to give you guys an insight. I really, love and the outpouring that you are giving, the family and Mike, and there'll never be another entertainer like him. Never.
Good job.
No.
You got a couple trolls on it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, man. I have a question. So a little bit on your background again. I missed because the thing lagged on me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm John Sly Wilson from the group Sly, Slick and Wicked. We're on Motown. I'm part of James Brown's First Family of Soul. We're on Epic. If you type in like Show Enough, Sly, Slick and Wicked, you see when I was on Soul Train. That's we're still touring after 54 years of being together. We just came off a tour a couple of weeks ago. As a producer, if you like Justin Timberlake, Suit and Tie, that's me.
Wow.
J. Cole.
Wait.
Shit.
No
fucking way.
I just looked him up and I found him.
No way.
I'm a Grammy Award winner for Suit and Tie. That's
No way.
J. Cole, J. Cole, Chaining Day, that's me.
Hold on. I just got into this call. I'm sorry. My name is Tony. I'm sorry. Who's the guy that's speaking right now? I've been trying to get into this call for a minute. So who's speaking at the moment?
I'm John Sly Wilson from the group The Sly, Slick and the Wicked.
Wow.
Dude, I was like,
amazing.
Wait a second. Because I know this dude's voice. And I was just like,
He's to focus on the topic today. He's to focus on the topic.
And I was, as I said, I was going through, just drifting and surfing through the YouTube, and I saw your page, and I listened in.
Yeah. I was wondering. Did you find this through the YouTube stream?
Right,
I did.
Yeah, I was just.
Wow.
Right, and I heard, and I was listening to all the beautiful things.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna you have like Instagram. I'm gonna follow you right now, dude.
Yeah, you have an
I'm gonna support. I'm all here to support legends. That's what we're here to do.
Here, Joey, I'll send it to you. I just found it.
Okay, great.
So hold on. So he worked on Suit and Tie. What else did he work on? Because I walked on in the middle of
all the music of Suit and Tie I did. Because that's a sample from our song "Showing Up" that we did on Soul Train that we were on James Brown.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I wrote it, and J. Cole, Chaining Day, the same thing. Also, if you type in John Sly Wilson, I did 145 voice choir for Peace. I had Taylor Dane, Layla Hathaway.
Wow.
George Clinton. You'll see.
Shit,
Hey, George Clinton. Let's
and
go.
I brought in all the top artists from all over the world. Top artists, top actors.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Fuck, man.
My God, you're special. You're talented.
Yeah.
How do we get him on the call?
So how?
Hey,
Oh,
Conversation.
he just found me from the YouTube thing.
I was just
That's
surfing through.
Yeah, you surfing through. So how? So I have a question because it's 15 years. How did Michael get into your life, man?
Well, I'm
How did you?
originally from Cleveland, Ohio, right?
No way.
Yeah. And
Oh,
so
that's crazy.
when
I was just there last year.
when we came out here to do Soul Train the first time, I said, I'm gonna move out here one day. And so my friend JJ Johnson and K-Day, we grew up together. He said, well, come on out. And so I came on out, and LaToya had just came out with her new album, and they were doing a tribute party for her. And so JJ said, come on down at a place called Jackie O's out here in LA. And that's how I met LaToya first. And then Julio Iglesias, a lot of people don't know that he was managed by a girl named Shirley Brooks, who I grew up with. And so one day I had just got through doing 2 albums with Barry White. I did the Beware album and the Lodine Barry White album. And so LaToya was looking for new songs. So I got some songs together and I took it up to the office, and the secretary took it back to Joe. And I heard my song played for about 10 seconds. I said, okay, this is a big no. But the secretary came out and said, her name was Brenda. She said, Joe Jackson would like to talk to you. And I said, okay. So when I went back, Joe was sitting in his chair, Mr. Jackson, I call him Joe now. And he says, why do you spend all that money in the studio? I said, well, Mr. Jackson, that's the only way I can get my ideas down. He said, what if I gave you a studio of your own? What would you do? I said, I would try to come up with the best ideas possible. And he said, see that room over there? He said, that's your new office. And he put all my...
Oh, God. I got it.
Get this guy out. Get this guy out.
He's out.
And so, so at the time, Joe not only had Janet and Michael and LaToya, he also had Alfonso Ribeiro. A lot of people don't know Alfonso. He's doing America's
Got Talent.
He's a monster. He's a monster singer. And
man, he's talented.
We had we had Mickey Howard.
He's amazing.
So that's how I ended up getting. That was in 1985, and I was with in-house producer and then senior vice president of Joe Jackson Productions until 2010.
Wait, the vice president of Joe Jackson Productions, 2010. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, for almost 30.
Let me ask this, right? So, 'cause I'm very curious. So, you obviously been in the industry for many, many years. I'm not sure how active you are today, because you've been around forever. Like you said, since the Soul Train days. My thing is this, right? So it's I'm someone that's actually writing his own music at the moment, and I used to perform myself, but I've been studying stuff for a long time when it comes to the industry and who works what and whatnot, right? So I'm over here thinking when it comes to what you've done, right? Because the stuff that you've worked on, the stuff that you have done is iconic. Some of the greatest stuff that's ever been produced, and it's my thing is this: what is the hardest part when it comes to actually producing something for somebody or just anything of that nature?
That's a good question.
In the business.
That's
no problem.
Good question.
Okay, the answer that I had 3 great teachers. The OJs taught me how to lay harmonies. Barry White taught me how to lay tracks, and the Jackson showed the business. When you produce someone, you have to first do their learn their personality. Now I've scored 6 films, so even when I work with the actors, I try to work with them offset, see how their quirks is, and then I will write the music for them. Also, coming from an analog era and a digital, which I can do both, you have to know what the studio is really about. It's a science, When you go into the studio, you have to know where the live spots and the dead spots in the room, as well as the personality. What mic does, was this 47, is that better than the C6 for that voice? You see? So John, when you produce, you're basically a doctor. You say what?
I'm sorry, I'm interrupting, sir. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
No, go ahead.
I was actually looking up your information and stuff. And like I said, I heard it's your name and stuff. So you're John Wilson of Slim, Wicked, and like, if I'm written that correct. Sly, Slick, and Wicked, correct? Okay. I'm sorry. You can go. You can continue. I'm sorry. I'm looking at your stuff right now.
Oh, okay. So your question being a producer. So, I mean, I produced in Japan. I'm the first African-American to have a hit record on the Japanese artist. I'm the first to take gospel to Japan. I produced in China. I produced in Africa. I produced in New Zealand. And even producing in other languages, you have to know what the artist is about and what the song is about, but also what the room is about, especially when you're producing in other countries. Me and Michael, when I said, he and I would talk, about producing, and we had the same ideas, and you have to know the room, you have to know the voice, and you have to know the artist that you're working with. I was very, humbled when Justin Timberlake, sampled my work for Suit and Tie, him and Timberland, and J. Cole sampled my work for Chain and Day, so, I'm still active. I'm still, producing. I'm heading again to Taipei to produce a group over there. And actually, I'm very honored to give you a little history that the word K-pop and J-pop came from me.
Really?
I produced a girl named Honda. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Interesting. Congrats, you gave birth to a whole entire genre.
I'm sorry?
Congrats, you gave birth to a whole entire genre.
Thank you. Yeah,
you deserve to have an award.
Your name is on Hollywood.
A big giant plaque.
I have a question.
Well, music really doesn't happen in color, because like I said, when I go to other countries, you may not speak the same language, but when you put that music, you're going to do this like this together. And you're
exactly.
some kind of way to communicate.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, right.
I hate to sound.
Very, very
I really hate to sound, a certain way, but Michael did say in a song, "All the children of the world should love each other wholeheartedly." He speaks on that, and it's just in general with the concept of music. And I think your words, sir, are magnificent, and the work that you put into to not even just just with all these talents. So Yanni, upcoming, I think you touched base on it, but any upcoming stuff that you have cooking for us? I don't know if you were able to hear me. But...
Yeah, I'm getting ready to work with Can you hear me?
I'm
getting ready to work with an artist out of Taipei. I'm getting ready to work with an artist out of Taipei, and who's dynamite. They call that C-pop, over there, because it's part of China. Yeah, I spent some time in Shanghai.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so I'm getting ready to do that. I'm getting ready to score another film. And plus, my group is getting ready to go back on tour for about 4 days. I don't know who's with us. I don't know if it's the OJs or the Temps with it. I haven't found out. But we're still active, and, keep doing this until we can't do it anymore. Joe, I heard he's talking about Mr. Jackson. Joe did it all the way until he passed away, and, you just keep on doing it until you close your eyes, when God finally closed your eyes. But, again, music, and I'm looking at people from all different walks of life on this call, and we got one thing in common is music. And that's the healing force of the world,
I agree.
Also, John, I want to ask for some advice as well. Man, by the way, like, again, I remember hearing your name, and now actually getting, not just me, but just everybody in this call, like, we all have, like, the absolute honor to having a chance to speak with you.
Broke up, I couldn't hear you.
Like a legendary. Can you hear me, sir?
You were breaking up.
Yeah,
I got you. Okay, so again, not just me, but everybody in this call, and we have like the absolute honor to speak with somebody like you that's worked on so many different things. And like I said, it's I want some advice, because like not just like how you said like read the room and stuff like that, but like I had mentioned it in the fan video that Joseph did for the fan event today, which again I was very honored to be a part of it. And he's a great all around dude. He's just amazing, and I heard everybody's messages today, which it was awesome, right? So like legit, like it's awesome, and I never thought, like I've always seen like these fan projects that people did over the years. I never thought I'd be a part of it. Never thought I'd be a part of one. So I thank Joe for that. I thank Joseph for that, seriously. So thank you, man.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
I actually have a question for Sly real quick. So you said you worked on Control, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm curious, like what you were a producer, like I'm curious, like did you work on any specific songs, or like or were there any like things in specific that you did on that album?
Okay, I'm gonna give you the real story of that album. Because this is about I had just started working for Joe Jackson Productions, and Janet was getting ready to do another album. The original producer of the Control album was myself and Jesse Johnson from The Time. And Michael Stokes was the head of A&R.
Whoa, what?
He's on Facebook.
Holy shit.
Right. And so we had a talk. So Michael left and John McClane came in. So Joe Jackson Productions had 50% of the album with A&M. So A&M brought in Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. Now I cut a song called Start Anew. If you got the physical album, you see the album is uneven. There's 5 cuts on one side, 4 cuts on the other. If you go to YouTube and put in Start Anew, Janet Jackson, that's me, you'll see my name on there. That's the first cut off that album.
Oh, really? Wow.
What Have You Done For Me Lately was the second cut.
So I find it interesting. Yes. I find it interesting how Jesse Johnson was a part of that project. I was not actually aware of this. Do you have like any insights on how he was able to get on this?
Well, because again, Michael Stokes, who he produced everybody too. You can go to Facebook and see him. He was A&R for the Black division at A&M Records. Okay. So when I started working for Joe Jackson Productions March of 1985. And so they were going into the process. So they had already hired Jesse Johnson. So seeing how Joe Jackson Production had 50% of whatever Janet did on the album, that's how I became the producer. So there was the songs, as you see on YouTube, it Start Anew. So I didn't write it, but I did all the production on it.
Right.
It released it everywhere else in the world except here, because they wanted the album to catch up with the single. Mm-hmm. And so when Jimmy Jam and Terry came in, we all had a meeting and said how we want to proceed to do the album. And so we agreed upon it. And so, which the rest is history. What have you done for me lately? The second release, and my song had already went gold. So then I started working on the
worked on that track?
I'm sorry.
You worked on. Wait, hold on. I love that track. What you have done for me lately? You actually So did you produce every track on Control?
No, I didn't do What Have You Done for Me. I did Start Anew. What Have You Done for Me lately was the second release.
That was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis.
That was Jimmy Jam.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but I was there for the video. We shot the video over at SIR Studio. So that's when I met Paul Abdul.
Yeah.
That's when I met. Yeah, Paul Abdul was one of the dancers, and that was a 24-hour straight shoot. We shot it from 6 in the evening to 6 that next evening, because Nasty Boy, we started shooting, that was a midnight shoot. We shot that downtown LA. So because we shot them like almost back to back within a week apart. So so again, I saw Jimmy Jam. I saw him at the NAMM show about 2 months ago. We just talked, and so we're friends to this day.
That's crazy, man. Damn.
I have a question.
Shit, man.
Oh, shoot. Somebody messed up with
so
I'm sorry.
Could you please explain to us what Joe Jackson Productions is? Can you give us a brief summary?
Almost every record company or whatever had what they call a production unit. And Joe started, again, Joe Jackson Productions, which we were taking artists, some were established, some weren't, like Mickey Howard. Mickey Howard was not established yet. She came out of a group called Side Effect. So then we had Alfonso Ribeiro, who was just coming off of Silver Spoons. This is before he did Fresh Prince to Bel Air.
Wow.
Yeah, in fact,
that's crazy.
I bought him. I mean, when he turned 16 years old, I bought him a bottle of cologne. So I took him in the studio and recorded a song that I ended up doing on Minako Honda called "Sneak Away with Me," but I originally did it on Alfonso first. And so we had an acting division. We had Stoney Jackson, who was on a lot of like New York Undercover. We had him. Also we had the Joe Jackson Dancers, who was like whatever big event there was, and each girl was from a different country. Let me see, Karen was from Jamaica, Monique was from Armenia, Sandra was from Sweden, Monique was from Spain, Carol was from here, she was from Compton. And
remember a lot.
So I mean, we had them all from Acapulco to Japan. They were dancing also. Joe and I put that together. Then Joe had a lot of people don't know. Hold on. He had a song.
It's impressive that you remember all the names. Oh my gosh.
This was Joe Cola. This was
wow.
Cola, right? Yeah, if you Google it,
that's great.
So we started Cola drink. And so, we had a little bit of everything at Joe Jackson Productions. So, again, we did records, we did actors, we had an acting division, we had a dance division, and we were in the Motown building, 6255 Sunset Boulevard. Like, we were on the 7th floor, Motown was on 18th and 19th floor. The Barge was on the 6th floor. Smokey Robinson was, he was on the 18th floor too. So, and BMI was at the top. So the whole building, like everybody from Magic Johnson to Vanity, you get on the elevator, everybody. Yeah. Prince, you just get on the elevator, there they were.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
Wow, how do you remember all of this? And their names as well.
Hey, long career, man.
Because we all worked together. I mean, I would walk into the garage, park my car, there was the Temptations. One day I was coming out and they had a food court at the bottom called the Pizza Tree. And I was
Barry White?
Barry. Yeah, well, let me finish. And then when I turned around, who was ordering?
My dad loves Barry White.
Was Prince. He was standing behind me. So me and him started talking. But yeah, I did Barry. JJ, again, JJ, look up JJ Johnson. There's a great book that he has out called Air Check. And he's talking about, his time in the radio. He's one of the baddest DJs that ever lived. So anyway, and we grew up together. He said, "Hey man, I'm getting ready to go over a friend of mine's house. You want to roll?" I said, "Okay, let's roll." So we rolled over here in Sherman Oaks and went up the driveway. There was no gates or nothing there. And this house that went forever. And I saw the Rolls Royce here. I said, "Okay, I wonder whose house is it?" And JJ started smiling.
I was lagging.
And he knocked on the door and there was Barry White. So I walked in and so Barry says, "How you doing, bro?" I said, "I'm doing fine." He says, "How's the group?" Because he knew about Sly, Slick, and Wicked, I said, "Well, we're doing pretty good." He says, "You ever thought about becoming a producer?" I said, "I would love to become a producer." He said, "I want you up to my house every day." So he showed me how to lay track because I'm classically trained. I was a trumpet player. And then, I started writing, playing guitar and everything, wrote music. So I did, if you look up a song called Ooh Ah by Barry White, that's me. And then just Barry and I.
That's such a good track.
Really good.
And Tell Me Who Do You Love? It's just all the background is all me and Barry.
Wow.
Tell Me Who Do You Love? What?
Yeah, Tell Me Who Do You Love by Barry White. That's all me. That's all. I walked in the studio and I'm looking for everybody else, and we call each other by initials. He called me JW, I call him BW. I said, BW, where's everybody else? He said, it's just me and you today, bro. And so
it's serious at that point.
right. And I said, okay. I said, so if you play Tell Me Who Do You Love, he starts rapping at the beginning, then I come in with all the background.
So, actually, just to mention that, when you said "Tell me who do you love," I actually found the beat not too long ago. I have it saved in a private playlist because I write all the time. I listen to beats and stuff, and I'm a very old school guy, so I love the way how old school music sounds. And I found somebody that made a beat that sampled that song. And I was like, I gotta work with this, and knowing that it's crazy. And I actually have a really interesting question. So it's like, with all the artists that you work with and all the projects that you worked on over the years, and the fact that you're still going is crazy. Especially at your age now, you can retire and call it a day, but you still go. But you're still going. So my question is this: what is in your opinion, right? What was the project that made you go, okay, I gotta be at the top level. I gotta keep my head going forward. What was the project that made your head go, holy shit?
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay. That's when I did the World Peace One choir, which is on YouTube. Like I said, you type in John Sly Wilson, you'll see George Clinton actually sitting down. When they called me to do that and put that project together, they wanted to do it like We Are the World, like Mike did that. I said, let's take it to another level. Let's not only, just bring the top artists from here, let's bring the top artists from all over the world. So, but now, here comes, like I said, here comes Brian McKnight, he's walking in. Here comes Al Jarreau, he's walking in. Here comes Edgar Winter, he's walking in. Shawnice Wilson is walking in. George Clinton is walking in. And Patrick Swayze is walking in.
Wow.
Saying,
that's great.
If you see, see it, you'll see, that you see Patrick introducing, that was Jane Zhang. She was the top artist in China. And I'm saying, wait a minute, what am I in here? I mean, I'm deep. It was 145 artists from all over the world. Wow. At the top of the top Korean rappers. This is before BTS,
right, of course.
Also there. Also I had the Nobel family, Klaus Nobel, the Nobel Peace Prize. That was a lot of pressure. I said, I can't mess this up. So I started teaching everybody. I had Andy, the top Iranian artist. I had Prince Ali, the last reigning prince of Afghanistan there.
No way.
Yeah, wow. I had DL from Israel, and I had them together, no problems, So I said, and I had to do the choir in 2 shifts because the stands only held 90 people. So I put the kids on that morning, and because it's at the same studio that we did We Are the World, the exact same place. And so by the time I got through doing the kids, I had to let them go. So here's the first wave. I got to put 90 people up there. And then I finished that. Then I had to go back. The other 90 went to the green room, and I brought the other 90 in and laid those voices. And so when I started laying leads, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. I laid 90 leads.
Damn.
That's wow.
That's a lot. It's a lot of work.
At 4 o'clock, I had Persia. I had Vanessa Williams. She did some of the Persia from
Vanessa Williams?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
What year was this?
From Soulful, you see her when you see the video on YouTube. You're walking in. I had Sugarfoot from Michael's drummer. I asked Mike to come, but he said no, he didn't. So
what year was this?
So I didn't.
What year?
That was 2007. That was the first. I actually did 2 of them.
Wow.
So they
really?
together.
He was.
I'm sorry.
Michael probably wouldn't want to done it. He was tired. He couldn't do anything.
Actually, no. I played it for him like after I finished, laying everybody down. I had take 6 and you see I had Mark Bibby, I had them there. They did some of the leads, And but I showed Michael, and Mike said, "Hey man," he said, "You know, I like what's going on." And so we talked about the project a little bit more, and so I went back the next day and started mixing these leads down. You know, but yeah, that was the hardest project that I've done so far in my life. You know,
especially like this.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Especially like this is 2007. You're mixing 90, like over what? Like you had about over what 200 people working on this, or like?
No, it was just me, and I brought in David Tickle, engineer. Yeah, I brought in David Tickle, my engineer. He engineered the Who, and then when you look at the video, you know, that's on YouTube of me doing it, you see a guy in the white in a T-shirt. That's his name was Tommy Turbovich. He actually directed "We Are the World," and he won an Oscar. Tommy helped me a lot, and we lost him at the beginning of the year. But he gave me so much support. But I'm the one that had to do all the producing and lay all the leads, and everybody was nice, no problems. You know, like I said, the language barrier, because Skull from Korea, he didn't speak any English. Liel spoke some, you know, but again, it was about the music and laying it down.
That's the creative process for you, man. That's that.
Right.
Award this guy a plaque. He deserves one.
Oh, thank you so
much.
You
deserve a plaque on the wall, just like the other achievements.
Have you ever?
This is really incredible.
Have you ever had any collaborations or interacted with Stevie Wonder?
I not personally, but I saw him not too long ago. I saw him at the NAMM show. The girl that runs his radio station, I grew up with, Karen Slade. She's he has KGLH, and and so, yeah, we know each other. We went to high school together. And I'm sorry.
How about Lionel Richie? Have you collabed with Lionel Richie?
Here's a funny story. When we first got together, my group Sly, Slick, and Wicked, we were on tour. It was us, the OJs, New Birth, and the Dramatics. And so we had one day we were by ourselves, and we were in Huntsville, Alabama, and our opening act was the Commodores right before they signed. And that's what
the Commodores. Yes, I know the Commodores.
That's when I met Lionel. Yeah.
That's nice.
Justice had a question. Justice had a question. Can Justice?
Yeah. So my question is it's Michael Jackson themed because of mostly because I'm curious. What was it like working with him?
Well, like I never produced in his albums, but we would talk a lot because I lived at the time. I lived right down the street from them.
Wow.
Yeah, like probably 3/4 of a mile. So he would be over to my house, or so I'd be over there, back in the back in the studio, because at the house there was a studio back. He cut some of Thriller, cut some of Thriller back there, and Tito and them they were cutting. Yeah, some of that was cut at the house. And for the engineer Tony, they cut a lot of that on the Neve board.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of that was on the Neve. They had a Neve back there with a Studer 24 track back in the back at the house there.
Wow,
so,
that's crazy.
He was a great person. Then when he got the ranch, I used to go out to Neverland, and we spent time out there. And again, he was just a great person, very humble. The whole family is. I mean, Jackie. They're like my brothers, Jermaine, they've all treated me very well over the year, and Mrs. Jackson, she's like a mother to me and was like a dad, and
still
but
going
Michael,
strong.
he was a great person, and I miss him. House, he couldn't go to a movie. So they put a theater in the house.
Yeah.
So they
I remember that.
Yeah, for sure.
I understand stuff.
Right. So he would call up and say, "Hey man, we're showing this or showing that." So I would go over there and we sit down and just all of us watch the movie, the film Star Wars or whatever. And then we bought Neverland, and he put a whole cinema, just like you go now. He put that out there. because he had like 3,600 acres out there.
I got a question. I know this is kind of off topic, but I have to ask you this, dude. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song, man?
Golly. Oh man.
Because everybody's shocking me with
for two reasons. Okay, one is Thriller. Okay, actually, it's three.
Okay.
Yay. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you tell me who wrote? Without going to the computer, who wrote Thriller?
Rod Temperton.
Rod Temperton. Yeah.
Where did he come from? Who is he with?
Heat Wave.
Yep.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, he.
Yeah,
we toured with them. We did some gigs. Like I think one package was us, Confunction, Heat Wave, LJ. And another is The Way You Make Me Feel, because who I basically keep in contact is Tatiana Thompson, who actually played the
my God!
I talked to her today.
That's so amazing.
I talked to her today.
You're so lucky.
Yeah.
I talked to her today, and she's fine, and she's she's had. Sure.
Say that again. You cut off.
Yeah. Yeah. Say that one more time, man.
Is he there?
I think it's delayed on his end.
Yeah.
Okay. He's still here. He's still here though.
Yeah, he's still here. It's fine. But dude, I want to thank you for coming in. If there's anything you want to spill, feel free. We want to, there's a lot we probably still don't know, but there's a lot that you shared today, and it was so random but fun. I was not expecting. This was unexpected. This was so unexpected today.
That was great.
So
true, but it was great. It was awesome.
It was wonderful.
No,
I
love you. I think you guys are doing a great job, and all we ask from my generation is keep us alive. Because a lot of us aren't here anymore. The Ohio players and guys that we all started together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And please, don't forget us, and keep love alive, keep peace alive. And
I have one more question for you. Have you ever collabed or worked with Luther Vandross?
I didn't work with him, but I knew him. And he was one of the greatest. Okay, you got to dig a guy named Walter Jackson.
I heard of that name.
Yeah, Walter Jackson and Luther. Like Walter was the earlier version of Luther, and I mean, their tracks are basically the same. And Luther was a really great artist.
Phenomenal vocals.
It's not enough words to say from a very, very humble guy. Another person who I became very good friends until God closed his eyes was Little Richard. He was another.
Little Richard, man.
Yes, he was like a big brother to me. Wow. The stories that he would sit down and tell me, because his keyboard player. Right, quick story. We had a keyboard player named Ron, and we were playing down in Macon, Georgia, and he says, my cousin is coming to the gig. I said, okay, fine. I said, did you put his name on the door? He says, well, no, he don't need his name on the door. I didn't say anything. I told our road manager, I said, well, Ron is bringing, one of his relatives to the gig. And so I'm getting dressed to go on stage. And I said, Ron, where's your cousin? He said, he'll be here. And all of a sudden I hear all this commotion. Where's Sly Slick and Wicked? Where's my cousin at? And I'm recognized as well. And then they put it together because Ron's last name was Pennyman, right? I said,
wow.
I said, Richard, is your cousin? He said, yeah. And we were friends, ever since until he closed his eyes. I talked to him about 2 weeks before he passed.
Shit.
Wow.
Not too long before.
Yeah, I couldn't go to his funeral because of COVID, but he was.
It sucks.
Tough time.
It sucks. Did you guys hear this?
Must have been terrible.
COVID ruined us all.
Yeah, but he was
mentally.
Hey, John, can you hear me real quick?
Yeah.
I have one more question before you get out of here, or whatever, however much more time you have. I have a question. One of my favorite artists of all time from your generation. Did you work with Bill Withers?
No, I'm gonna tell you. Okay, here's some trivia for you. Bill Withers, I didn't work with him, but all of his records. Now here's some trivia. I'm gonna ask you a question. Who played all the music on those records? Does anybody know? The rhythm section, all the Ain't No Sunshine.
Ain't no sunshine.
Played
was that you?
Was that you? No.
Was it you? No, I can't remember. Oh, it's been so long.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of it.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. That whole rhythm section actually was from another famous band.
Oh, fuck on.
Damn it.
MSB.
They made iconic hits. They have iconic hits.
Oh.
MSB.
No.
The Beatles?
No. Okay.
Damn it.
In fact, the drummer is the most recorded session drummer of all time. He's on more hit records than anybody, more than the Beatles. And I just saw him about 2 months ago.
Okay, that's on the tip of my tongue now.
Isn't his name like James something?
Right.
Yeah.
James
What's his last name?
I don't remember his last name. It's James something.
Right.
James Franco.
James, oh man.
Yeah, that's his
James
name.
Franco.
Not James Frank. No.
No, no.
James.
I'm kidding.
James Gadsden.
Right.
Oh.
Right. James Gadsden is also the drummer on Express Yourself.
Wow.
That's the Watts 113 rhythm.
Oh, wow.
Band. Melvin Dunlap.
Really?
And wait a minute. Guitar player is not only the co-founding member of the Watts 113 Rhythm Band, but he also is a co-founding member of Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Al McKay.
No way.
Al McKay, right. And in fact, that's James singing Love Land, Express Yourself. And well, that's a Charles Brown. But yeah, but James Gadsden is singing Love Land, but that's him on the drums on Express Yourself, all of that stuff. And that whole rhythm section of Bill Withers is the Watts 113 Rhythm Band.
That's insane, dude.
That's amazing.
That's crazy, dude.
Wow,
Because of because of the fact that you're on here, I'm literally going to retitle the live stream and edit out the other stuff, and then literally just have this portion, because this whole portion is
Please.
yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing.
Oh, I love
this.
Yeah.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes,
So yeah, dude.
I can, whoever that is.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you, sir.
Did he have a question?
James Brown made a fool out of himself. He said he went to see the Ohio players and thought they recorded Brick House. He went to see them in concert. He went to see the Ohio players in concert and asked the Ohio players, how come they didn't do Brick House? And they told him, that's not our song.
Well, I knew the Ohio players very well. In fact, we were managed by their manager, Satch, who was the saxophone player for the Ohio players. His father managed them and managed us. We called him Pappy. And we toured together with the Ohio players. And only Diamond and Billy are left now. The rest of them are in heaven. Sugar, Sat. And in fact, here's another thing that, the style of singing when you hear the punk guys, oh, girl, like that, that actually came from Sugar. Sugar started that. And what happened was Junie Morrison, their first record was called Pain. And Junie Morrison, Pain, right? And when he left the group to go with the Funkadelics, they were wondering who were going to, who's going to sing lead. And Mrs. Satchel, Satchel's mother, she told Sugar, she said, you have a good voice. You have a good voice. Why don't you sing? And the rest is history. He sang Skin Tight, all of that. But that was his style. Right. That's the style. I was
a lot of fun.
Yeah. Because we're like some of the Ohio players were from Cleveland, some of them were from Dayton. Because you know, for example, in my area, who lived in the same neighborhood as me, for the OJs, Men at Large, Edwin Starr, Bobby Womack, Bone Thugs. We're all from basically the same. Men at Large, we're from the same neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So Edwin Starr. Who else is from Cleveland? Well, right outside of Cleveland, Akron, you got Howard Hewitt from Shalimar, James Ingram.
Oh shit!
You know, I knew James very well too. A good guy. Really beautiful guy. You know, we lost him a couple of years.
Mr. Sly, I got a question. You said you was on Soul Train one time, right? I want a question. How was Don Cornelius? Did you ever meet him or?
Yeah.
How was he?
Oh, he was really nice. We came out here we came out here to do Soul Train in 1973. We're on. If you see the episodes, you'll see the third season, episode 20. You'll see us on that show. It was us, the JBs, James Brown's band, and Lynn Collins.
Mm-hmm.
And so
So I was saying with the South Philadelphia, you on that season. I like that season.
Well, what happened was we were down getting, you know, they were making us up to go on stage, and Don Cornelius came down and introduced himself, and you know, and he said how much he liked our record, which was Shown Up. And so I remember when we went up stage, and you know, I'm seeing all the guys and the girls, you know, that we seen on TV, and when we went on stage, I couldn't hear him. And, you know, all I heard was, and the Wicked, and the music started. I didn't hear no of the introductions, nothing, right? And so we went on and did the choreography and everything, you know, did it, and he introduced it. But he was really a very, very nice person.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
That's great.
And some of the Soul Train dancers, we're friends to this day, you know.
Where is it filmed?
That's amazing, man.
Wow.
So,
where is it filmed?
I'm sorry. When we
Where's
did
Soul Train filmed?
Well, when we were doing it then, it was done down on Hollywood Boulevard here at KTLA. Then they moved. In fact, they moved to A&M Records. If you come, it's Jim Henson Studios now. But you see this right on the side. You see this big, like it looks like a big garage. That's where they did Soul Train. It's on La Brea. Like you go across Hollywood. You go inside, awesome. And you see it's on the left-hand side. You see Kermit the Frog there.
Yep.
That's also where We Are the World was done too, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yep.
I can't believe they didn't preserve it. They didn't preserve it.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe they didn't preserve it like some type of museum or something.
Well, they're still, they're still shooting videos and everything.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of work over
there. Well, I heard that they're selling, like they're basically selling the studio now.
I heard about that too. Yeah,
they could be. But like I said, that's where I did the World Peace one there, and then Keith Washington cut in there. I did Janet. That's where I cut the vocals on Janet. In fact, if you see the Janet Jackson special, the four-part special.
Oh yeah.
Okay, episode number 2, the second day, you'll see me, and that's when you'll see me.
Yep.
And I was producing Janet at that time, and I didn't even know they snapped the picture. I was looking, I said, "Oh, that's me." I said, "Okay."
Okay, awesome.
So where'd they get that from? Then I remembered, I was producing Janet that day, right? So
also, how do you feel about biopics, and how do you feel about the upcoming Michael one, like in particular? Like, how do you feel about that genre of films, and how do you feel about the upcoming biopic for Michael?
I like biopics when they're accurate. Well, if you guys don't have anything to do, whatever, there's a movie called The Sax Man. Okay.
Yep.
And that's about our group and a guy named Maurice Reedus. It's a biopic, and that's pretty much accurate. But I see other movies about people like Little Richard, who I knew, and it wasn't that much accurate. And Richard really, he said some of the things weren't right.
That's right.
It was bring it back.
I have a question because I think the first thing you were talking about was the Michael biopic.
I hope it's released on DVD.
Yo, I'm talking. I said the first thing that you were talking about was the Michael biopic. And I didn't really hear your opinion, but how you feel about what they're doing with that, Jafar, and just the whole thing.
I think it's going to be excellent. Jafar's playing his uncle. I remember when they was basically kids, running around the house. And I think it's an excellent job. The family's really proud of of what he's doing. I talked to Mrs. Jackson. I was over to her house maybe around February, and she's really proud of what her grandson is doing. So I think I haven't seen it in entirety. I'm waiting to see it, but he's doing a great job. Playing his uncle. I mean, I'd rather see somebody in the family than somebody that's outside the family. But
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it more.
He's doing significant. Talk to Jermaine.
Yeah.
Bloodlines run through.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree. I feel like it's a wise choice. It's similar to the NWA biopic where Ice Cube's own son played Ice Cube. So I felt like it was definitely a wise choice. Someone within the family who's known them who can actually do that. So yeah.
Right.
Completely agree. For sure.
I agree.
Because it's also just like with the Jacksons and American Dream. I mean, remember that Jermaine Jackson's son was chosen to play Jermaine. So, that makes sense.
Well, my friend Lawrence Hilton Jacobs again played Joe, and and he did a great job. I was really proud of Larry. Because Larry's done like 185 movies. He was in Welcome Back, Kotter, and television shows.
Yeah, I like Welcome Back, Kotter.
Yeah. He was in Kotter, and I saw Larry about 3 weeks ago. And again, when he was preparing for the movie, he would come up to the office. Him and Joe would talk, and so he knew the family before I knew him. And Larry did a heck of a job. I mean, really, really a heck of a job.
Yeah, because Lawrence Hilton Jacobs said that he knew the Jackson family ever since like 1975.
Yeah. I've known him since 1980. But he was known way back then. The first person I ever met out of the family, as I said earlier, was LaToya. I went to her record listening party when she the album the one she has the gray it's gray with red writing, and she's like Regine.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you have to feel the funk. I think.
Yep.
Yeah. That's when I met her. It was a place out here called Jackie O's. Was like a disco on La Brea, and we met each other. And we became friends from that day to this day. And then I started working for Joe Jackson Productions in March of 1985, all the way up until Joe passed, basically.
Yeah.
Like, are you still under contract with the company, or is it ever since you passed, you gotta just separate yourself from it? When it comes to that.
Well, when Joe passed, I mean, we'll always be tied together because like when I did produce LaToya, I wrote the song Love Talk. LaToya and I wrote that together. And so, he had Joe Jackson Productions, then they have a publishing company. So we all split the publishing together. So I'll be forever tied, to Joe. And then when I did Minako, Joe helped me write Heartbreak, and that was a number one record we had in Japan together. So I'll always be, tied, to the family.
Hey man, look, that's amazing to hear, and it's like because like I've been saying earlier, that we worked with some of the greatest that have ever in that industry, and that industry is no joke.
Yeah,
especially during that era, it was no joke. So
especially when talent was
a
factor.
You got like top level people all the time. Not even just the Jackson family, but you got like top level people all the time. Not to say that we don't have that now, but like back in that era, it was like you had to be at your top at every single moment.
But the gig that you asked me about, the session, the one gig that I'm still, and it's been so long and I'm still reeling over, is this was in May of 1975, and at the Kansas City Royal Stadium, we were doing the jazz festival. Now, I'm going to tell you who was on the lineup. Okay.
Oh boy.
When I walked in, I'm saying, "Oh man, I can't believe I'm on the same bill with these guys." I walk into the dressing room. There's Count Basie. Okay. I walk in. Then it was the Isley Brothers. Then it was Harold Melvin, the Blue Notes. The Ohio Players. Then I'm looking at Freddie Hubbard. I'm looking at B.B. King. I'm looking at Cannonball Adderley. You know, these great, And I mean, I'm saying I'm on the show with Cannonball Adderley. I'm on the show with Count Basie. Oh man, and we was 80,000 people at the Kansas City Royal Stadium, and I was like, oh man, you know, the rest of the guys my age I worked with, but Count Basie was really nice. I got the chance to talk to him. I talked to Cannonball because I'm a trumpet player. That's what, you know, and I talked about him because he's a sax player, and talked to B.B. King. They were all so nice, and that's to me, of all the gigs, all the 1,000 gigs that I've done, thousands, that was the one that I will always remember, you know, working with those greats, you know, Count Basie on there.
Of course.
Right.
Tony had a question. No, I'm going to mute myself. That'll interrupt.
I have two more. So the first question, I have two more questions, and then we're going to wrap this up.
What's your middle name?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Wow. Out of here, bro.
Okay. Have you ever worked with Prince?
No. I met Prince. In fact, like I said, I was standing there and to get something to eat, and you know, you feel somebody's around, you know, behind you. I turned around, there he was. And we ended up talking for about 45 minutes, you know, talking about music and everything. And he was a really, really, you know, nice guy. You know, that's the only time that I met him, you know, but he was really,
What year were we talking about? About?
Oh, that was 1990.
So that's like
89 or 1990.
So that's like Batman and Love Symbol.
I'm sorry.
When I was born.
That was Diamonds and Pearls. Yeah.
No, actually, I like Get Off. I think
Get Off. Yeah.
That track, that's a funky track.
And Sexy MF. Sexy MF.
I love Get Off.
Yeah, that was okay, but Get Off, that track is a monster.
You like Horny Pony?
It was okay.
What? Wow, I love Horny Pony.
Get Off, man. That track is.
Get Off, say hey.
You like what's that one? Thunder.
Thunder was a good one. Yeah. But see, I like a funk. Like, for example, one of the funkiest tracks that I've ever heard in my life was Your Love Is Like the Holy Ghost by the Barcades.
Oh, yes. You had the bass line on that?
Yeah, that's it. And Hair by Graham Central Station.
Oh,
those,
yes,
Yeah, those are serious funk tracks, right.
Oh,
right. And,
by the way, up y'all, I just dropped in a little late. I know.
What's up, Al?
You like the song called Last Night?
Fiance.
by Marquise?
You like that one called Last Night? A DJ Saved My Life?
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Didn't Michael sample some of that?
Yeah, he said that one. Yeah. This is my last question, and then we're gonna go. What was the last interaction you had with Michael?
Out at the ranch, we threw a birthday party for Joe out at the ranch, and we invited 150 people, and 1,500 showed up. And that's the last time. Yeah, we invited 150, and 1,500 showed up. And Mike just let them, everybody have fun. And Earth Wind was there, Karl Malone, Paris Hilton. I mean, you name it, everybody came. We just had a great time. And Tito played that night, and Tito's a monster blues player. He just played the blues, man. He was gone. That's the last time I saw him.
Julian has one more question.
Did you guys know that Michael covered Bill Withers' Ain't No Sunshine on his Got to Be There album.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have one more question from Julian. Take it away.
I got one more question. So you,
I got
very
one more
early in the call, you said you were writing a book.
Yes.
I would love to know more details about this
Yeah.
book. Like, if you have any insights on when it's coming out or anything like that.
Well, I'm still in the process of finishing it because, you know, people really didn't know the real Joe Joe Jackson like I knew it. You know, we were friends. We traveled the world together. He had a big heart, a great heart. You know, he loved to have fun, and so I just, you know, felt that I should write something about him. He had a great sense of humor. Again, I miss him a lot. He was really a great person. Do anything in the world for you. You know, he tried every place we went in the world. You know, he never met a stranger. You know, he was just a great person, and that's what, you know, I felt that I wanted to see, to really see. Just like Barry White. You know, Barry White was, I call him like my big brother. He was a monster guy, man. Beautiful, beautiful spirit. You know, what you see is what he really was. He didn't find, well, no airs about Barry White. You know, the old Jays, you know, these are people.
I just saw a clip of Stevie Wonder and Jimi Hendrix playing together in the 60s. And I couldn't believe it. Two great artists.
But all right, everybody.
Stevie was playing drums.
I never met
Jimmy was playing
Hendrix, but I did.
Yep.
Hello? I never met Jimi Hendrix, but I did meet Billy Miles. I met Billy Miles before he died. You know, he played with Hendrix. Yeah, I met him. I met him at the NAMM show. Ralph Earth, Wind and Fire listened to him. And he was really a really wonderful guy.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a screenshot, like a little picture for this memory?
Yeah, let's do that. We're gonna,
I'll take a screenshot.
All right, everybody.
Screenshot. Joe, you don't have to worry about it.
All right, pose 1, 2.
2, 3. Pose.
All right, everybody.
Got it.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. This is amazing.
Thank you, Ms. Love.
It's amazing. I've never expected this on the Zoom call or anything before. I learned a lot
This
today.
is great.
Yeah, it was really.
And thank
Peace
you,
and love, and keep us
everybody.
alive, y'all. Take care. God bless.
Hell yeah.
Bye-bye. God bless you, brother.
MJ Fender.
I want to say one more thing. I want to say one more thing before we wrap, because I have another stream to go on right after this.
What is the stream about?
Oh, it's another 25th thing. I'm gonna join that for like a half hour.
I'm not gonna do that.
I know we kind of started off the call. We were just joking around and stuff. There were a couple trolls and all that. You know, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We're here. We're here for a reason. And I know I say in my videos how much I hate certain things, or I want to leave, or like maybe not leave, but like I don't like a certain area, or I may say something that might, But at the end of the day, I'm forever gonna be a fan, or not even just of Michael, but like what John was saying earlier, just about music and how music really brings people together, and the stories, the message, just everything that, and just I was blown away, dude. I was blown away, just like these people don't even have to be like that known, and you could still really have some sort of impact from that. It's like these are people like and this is why I say we need to acknowledge the collaborators of these artists, because they deserve love too, and they need so much, and because this could be like the last generation for the youth to get to really like look at all these people and study and learn from them.
Yeah.
So I think we just got it. Yeah.
I want to add on to that, because, like I said, yeah, there are tons of artists like themselves You know, Prince included, Michael Jackson included, Stevie Wonder, and even James Brown to an extent. Like I said, they're all talented when it comes to songwriting, but there also goes to be the talents that collaborated with them. You know, especially like Greg Fillinganes worked with both Stevie Wonder and Michael. And like I said, people don't realize that a lot of those musicians, like Louis Johnson on bass guitar, people like, you know, there's so many different people that made a bigger impact than you even think.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. That you didn't realize my favorite part of music. Like, wait, this guy did it? Like, you know?
Yeah.
And I felt like that is absolutely something that is definitely very important to acknowledge. You know, especially people who appreciate music. So that's something that I would definitely
and the last thing I want to say, I didn't hear from you, LV. I didn't hear from you. Ding dong, ding dong. Yeah.
Ding dong.
We go back to the early days of when I did the Zoom calls for the first time. Whenever somebody came in, y'all went ding dong every time. I would join along with it. It was great. Yeah, she's dying right now. But
I can see that.
It's great that you're still, you know, on this. It's great that, you know, so for that I call you a legend. Same with Al, I met back in 2020, and Julian too. Julian is he's my brother from another mother, man.
Yeah, y'all literally we've known for a while.
And Amira too. Amira, I recently met too. And Allison, all of you, great people. I got Travis. Travis, you cool too. Brian, we got some Fahim, Zach. Teresa, we got some great people on here. You. And for the fucking schmucks that were on the last in the other bit, y'all, I love y'all too. All right, I love y'all too. Even though y'all pissed me off, love y'all bitch too. Greg, MJ Nerd, Dom, you're one of those schmucks. Fuck you.
For the latest Michael Jackson updates.
Wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. Somebody wants to talk. Oh, and you too, Tony. Tony.
Are you still friends with MJ?
Am I still friends with who?
Is Joey still in here?
MJ Fangirl.
Oh, she's living life right now. So me and her haven't really like collabed like that as of recent, but
okay.
She's,
well, Greg
Billy
Gaines said he couldn't remember if this was during the Jackson's Destiny album or the Trial album. He was in a recording studio and he heard somebody playing drums.
Yeah.
And it was Michael playing drums.
Oh, really?
You can play the piano as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard the story about that.
Oh, and Tony,
I had a very
you are musically gifted, man. Because you all the stuff you were asking him and
Joey, since I got you right here, I don't mean to be rude to anybody at all, but I really enjoyed this like question because it's a very important question I wanted to ask you. I didn't want to ask you through message, but I got you right here. Look, I've been trying to work on this Michael tribute album for 5 years since the 10th anniversary of his death, and it's called The Final Ride. The Final Ride basically meaning that is the last chapter of me as the guy that's been known as the Michael Jackson guy. Because I live in Florida. People know me as Michael Jackson guy because I grew up performing his music for so many years. And to this day, I still get people calling me and coming up to me in public saying, "Yo, what's up, Tony? How you doing? Yada, yada, yada." So like the premise of this album is to just close that chapter. But I know his spirit is always going to be with me because that's what brought me to the dance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, what I want to ask Joey is this, because it doesn't have to be. Would you like to collaborate on a song together, or would you like to be like part of an intro?
I would be more than happy to. Just spill me as many details as you possibly can, and when we could do something together for sure, dude.
Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, okay. And again, man, again, I'm probably gonna get out of here soon.
I'm gonna end this right now. I'm gonna end it.
But
I think Al has one more thing
I
to say.
I want to thank Joey for this collaboration, man. So thank you so much. And if you want me to do another collab, fans, so I just was like, well, dude, just hit me up. You know, I got.
I don't know. I'm getting a little emotional right now. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not crying. No tears are coming out. It's just like a sentimental, like man, no, but anyway.
Definitely. I mean, this is basically a whole song.
Yeah,
this is a great stream.
Yeah.
This is a great stream.
It ended very well. So thank you all for joining. I'm actually gonna be on. I'm actually gonna be on the Invincible Jackson's stream right now. So get on that channel if you want to watch me on there. So I'm
whose channel?
It's called Invincible Jackson's. I'm gonna get on there right now. She sent me the link. So
all right, cool.
All right, everybody. Take care, everybody. Bye bye. All right. All right. That was awesome. All right. Bye bye, everybody. I'm gonna be on the Invincible Jackson's live stream. Crystal, I'm gonna message you. And I will see you guys on that stream. Take care, and I'll see you on there. And sorry about everything that happened. I know I'm probably gonna get a comment later or something. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. And a video's coming up soon. So